What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Miles. I am a 23-year-old full-time online arbitrage seller, and that's what we talk about here on my channel. I've done about 1.9 million in sales the last 12 months, and I make 3 videos a week to help you make more money with Amazon online arbitrage. And in this video, we're going to talk about how I did 300K in sales my first 6 months with online arbitrage. Not my first 6 months on Amazon. We're going to talk about how all that got started. But basically, I originally started doing Amazon about 3 years ago next month, so July 2019, and I only did books. Why did I only sell books? One, because that's all I thought I could sell. That's all I could sell based on ungating. What does ungating mean? Basically, Amazon gates certain brands, products, a lot of the popular ones, Nike, Lego, Barbie, toys, grocery, beauty, all that kind of stuff, because they're afraid of newer sellers selling counterfeit goods, different stuff, scamming people like that. So they want to make it a high barrier to entry to sell those more sought after goods. Luckily, these days, all that ungating information is free and available. But back in the day, 3 years ago, it wasn't. So I literally was just sitting here thinking, damn, the only thing I'm going to be able to sell is books. For a while, and books were a lot harder to find. They were a lot harder to scale and everything. So I never really ended up making much money with that. And I did books the second half of 2019, and then hit early 2020 and everything. So there wasn't much I could do in terms of getting product and everything. So I pretty much did stop doing Amazon all of 2020. But the key was I was still semi-involved in the Amazon community. I was following resellers and all that stuff. And then early 2021, someone told me how to get that ungating done of some of the big brands, toys, Adidas, that kind of stuff. And that opened up everything. And I was in the transition period. I had just finished college. I was trying to build a social media marketing agency. I was like, you know what? This stuff isn't really working. I'm not making much money with the agency stuff, right? Selling Facebook ads as a service to like beauty salons, real estate agents, stuff like that. Let me try this Amazon thing again. Now that there's an ungating available, I can sell these big brands. And I'm like, a lot of stuff I would look at back when I was selling shoes prior to that, not on Amazon, on like StockX, Goat, that kind of thing. It's like, those would do so well on Amazon. They're selling for a lot on Amazon. There's other people selling them on Amazon. I just can't get that unlocked on my Amazon account. The nice thing is, like, now that information is completely available, which is why I think it's a lot easier to start today than it was back then, because there's free content like this talking about online arbitrage and everything. No one really was breaking down like exactly how you do it. Like, what you guys are going to see is exactly what I was doing to make money. 300K in sales was like 60K in profit right there. That was amazing. It was a 6-figure profit run rate. Ended up making well over 6 figures in well over 100K last year, literally just flipping stuff on Amazon. This year, going to do multiple X that and everything. And we're talking about in this video how I got started with all that. Basically, coming into February 2021, mid-February 2021, you can see my first sales right there. We're right at the end of February. I figured out how to get ungating done. I was like, all right, let me try this out. Let's start buying some stuff and everything. And looking back, I had no idea what I was doing on everything, but you can see I found success quick in that. Coming right into like March, April right there, I was having some like 3-4K sales days right there. I think it was like around 40K in revenue for 30K in March, 40K in April right here. The key was I was only doing merch fulfilled. So I went on vacation in May. I went to spend some time with family, and my sales went completely in the toilet and everything. But then I come home in June, right about 50K, 60K in July right there, go on vacation again early August, and then come back and getting into late July on vacation, early August, get home, stuff really skyrockets for back to school, do 100K in August alone right there. Had some sales days that were like 9K right there, 8, 9K in there. So it comes to the point, 1,000 in profit type numbers and everything. Incredibly helpful for me at the time. And still, awesome doing around that today and everything. So how did I actually find success this quick and everything? Well, the key was that I had a good network and I had capital, right? And I really understood how to use credit and everything, which was helpful for me. But the big thing was really just ferociously attacking it, living and breathing it, having a network of guys I would talk to every single day on FaceTime, the guys I do Buy Box Bandits podcast with, although that's Buy Box Bandits for anyone who's interested in listening to my podcast as well. And we all just teamed up right in late February, early March, and we just lived and breathed it. We probably have FaceTime. We probably only missed like less than 5 or 6 days of not FaceTime in the last, I guess, 16 months at this point. And we've all done multiple 7-figure. I guess I'm close to multiple 7 figures in sales. The other guys have done multiple 7 figures in sales, and combined probably close to 8 figures in there, and all just online arbitrage and some wholesale in there. I do only online arbitrage, but yeah. So really walk you through the timeline. So I get started here in March. It starts really clicking. Everything. There were some big, like, we were ripping Air Force Ones back then, which aren't as good anymore. but they were really good then because there was so much less competition. Because that's the thing, is like a lot of people from the reselling world and like sneakers and stuff, they still haven't gone on Amazon the way they should be, the way I think they should be and everything. So we're still very early, but I was so early back then. And the stuff that has like 20 sellers, 25 sellers competition, which isn't even much, was like 6 sellers, a year and a half, year and ago when I was doing it. So there was such a blue ocean. And the problem was getting quantity. I didn't have as much capital. And now I'm so much more well equipped, and that I have a year and a half of experience under my belt. So it's a lot easier to execute on stuff. But the key was that I was just living and breathing it. That's really the whole summary of this video, is I was doing it every single day, and you get good at something when you do something every single day for 6 months. And that's exactly what happened. I got very good at doing online arbitrage. What was weird was I was doing it completely different than I do now. What I would do is pretty much I would come to a site like this, like Nike.com. I was on a bunch of email chains, and I would literally just come in here and search stuff, find stuff that looked on semi on sale, right, or clearly on sale, undervalued compared to what the market was, typically more basic stuff. It's a general rule of thumb, the more basic stuff tends to do better on Amazon, and I was coming from the hype shoe world, so it was completely different. So the more basic stuff, it was incredibly to be able to sell like Nike Air Monarchs, for example, right here, the like dad grilling shoes or whatever. And specific examples of stuff I sold, like here's one of the first items I was selling, these Ultra Boosts, that I was buying for $90. Right here we can see they were really high, specific sizes, and the competition was so much lower back then too. It's weird that it was all 918. It was weird it was higher back on this specific one, but this was right when I was moving this stuff in here. I'm sure some of these sizes were a lot higher, 180 coming right here. Yeah, so I was selling these for like 170, 200 and everything. I was paying 90 at the time, right? So we can do the numbers on that, like say, right, 180 sale price, it paid 90. And the reason why I chose shoes and clothing as my niche was because I live in Pennsylvania, which is sales tax. There's no sales tax on shoes and clothing. And it was what I already knew, so I was decently accustomed to that. And like Nike, Adidas, those are some of the biggest brands in the world. So there's so many different SKUs to go after, and they're bought from a variety of sites. And if the same item is available on a variety of sites, there's a major increased chance of there being coupon potential. And when you buy stuff with coupons, it's more complicated, so it drives away newer sellers, and that creates less competition on stuff, if that makes sense. So I was literally just like manually going through. I wasn't even really storefront stalking. I didn't even know what Seller Amp was back then. But literally, I was just manually sourcing, like finding sites that had sales, going through them manually and everything. But the key was that my knowledge was compounded, and that I had a circle of friends that I'm still friends with, that we would text stuff, we would get on Zoom, break down Keepa on all that on different items, and we would crowdfund information. And that's why I highly recommend all you guys, join my free Discord, right? Try to make some friends in the space and everything, and it'll really serve you well and take you far. Also, I was only merch filling stuff. I didn't FBA anything, or at least anything really at scale, until September of last year. I was literally 95, 98% merch filled. In September of last year, I started doing FBA more, which skyrocketed my sales. That's one of the mistakes I made, was not FBAing. But if you're watching this and you're brand new and you have capital, I'd highly recommend just doing merch fill to start, especially on low competition stuff that you can get ungated in. Gating's very easy. You just let me know in the comments if you need anything, or like in the free Discord, and I have some other videos where I talk about it. But FBM lets you move so much quicker, in that you won't always be able to get the buy box FBM, but you can check in the buy box statistics right here. We can hop in, buy box stats, data, buy box stats right here, and then we can go 365, and we can see that, right, several of these sellers right here that are getting a lot of the buy box are merch filled. See, they don't have that check mark prime right there. And when you're merch filled, you can move so much quicker, in that you can order something right now, it gets here within a week, and you sell it within a week, you replenish it within a week. That lets you move so much quicker. And then as a new seller, I wouldn't even be super worried about optimizing for profit, more so optimizing for sales, proof of concept, getting better at reading Keepa charts, because that's the knowledge and skill that's going to compound over time and let you make the profit that you want to make. But I was merch filling, so I was ordering stuff, I was selling it quick, I was replenishing it quick. I wasn't having to worry about FC transfer or check-in times or anything like that. I was just getting stuff in, and sure, it was a pain to deal with returns and everything, and I wasn't able to ship stuff bulk, so I was doing individual orders. But when you're new, you have to put in that sweat equity to move quick and get that proof of concept quick. Everyone wants to use a prep store and everything. I think that's so pointless when you're new, because you need to know how to do it yourself, and you can move so much quicker when you do it yourself. You don't have to deal with any delays and all that. In terms of the tools I was using, I was just using BQ for repricing, Keepa for sourcing, and Inventory Lab for listing stuff. And I even delayed using Inventory Lab, which if you're watching this and you don't have Inventory Lab yet, you should definitely go ahead and use it. And also have Seller Amp, which is the profit calculator right here, which would have been incredibly helpful right here, being that I wasn't doing any reverse sourcing, but now you can come here just with Seller Amp. We have the profit calculator, but also you can come in and really easily reverse source people. So this would have served me very well to be able to look inside and see what successful people were selling that I knew had lots of reviews. And I literally didn't do any of that until like last fall and last winter and everything. But I was literally just like manually going through sites and everything, looking through Keepa. The nice thing is like when you're selling big brands, you can really dig for stuff like this item. There's going to be tons of different stuff and they're on lots of different sites. So that drastically increases the coupon potential on it. Oop, it inverted me right there. That looks very weird. It'll take me back. I don't know why it always does that, but yeah, I was just merch filling stuff. I was just using Inventory Lab, BQ, and Keepa. But really the big thing, the big takeaway was having the network and everything. That was the really helpful part. Mistakes I made, I should have FBA'd more. I should have FBA'd really, period, during that time more and more. And all that, as well as I think I focused too much categorically, but that did serve me well based on my geographic advantage and everything. But really, I mean, you can't go wrong in just doing anything. If you do it enough, you're going to figure it out and everything. That was like my thesis of exactly what happened with online arbitrage, right? I did it so often, I got around the right people, and I really lived and breathed it, and I documented the whole thing. So the whole time I was learning here, I was posting content, so I was attracting more people that were then giving me tips here and there. Hey, have you tried this? Hey, you should look into this type of product. We were sharing game back and forth, and that served me so well right there. And that's how I was really able to grow and everything. Definitely should have FBA'd. You can see my sales wouldn't have gone dead right here for those few parts if I was FBAing stuff. But for whatever reason, I was just FBMing for the time being and everything. So lessons learned is live and breathe it. Get a good network. You don't need super complicated stuff. All you need to focus on is just make money. I was not worried about optimizing systems, process, VAs, delegation. None of that. I was just focusing on making money. And I built the framework and the skill that now I know how to make money on Amazon. And now I can worry about delegation. Like in the past year, I spent like $15K sending products to a prep center that I'm never going to touch. That's going to return me over 50% ROI, I think, when all said and done. Got some coupons in there, really just blue ocean stuff that probably is going to end up being replenishable, at least some of it and everything, but some new SKUs. But document the process, build a network, and really get after it on stuff. If you're watching the video this late and you want my direct help scaling, you want me to be able to review Keepa charts you buy, me to show you what to buy, different stuff like that, and really work closely with me, consider applying for my coaching program in the link in the description on that. And I hope this was a helpful video for you. You can really find success quick if you have the capital and you're willing to really buckle down and learn. Regardless, I have tons of free videos on YouTube that help you do that, and I push three more every single week to help you do just that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to let me know in the comments any videos you want to see, your thoughts on this video, how I found success quick. But it's a good story. It's fun to look back on, and I'm excited for what the future holds. See you guys in the next video.